Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's been a bit, so let's just go straight into this soft, really soft and beautiful makeup I did the other day. Yeah. Started with the Mara Badescu facial spray just to cleanse and hydrate her face before starting the makeup. It's important to always prep skin whichever way you know how to do before you start the makeup. So I primed her face with the Milani Prime Shield. It's a mattifying and smoothing primer. So just put that all over. Then I went in with the MAC NC50 concealer and I just put that underneath her eyes just to kind of like color correct any darkness that is underneath her eyes. A lot of us have that a lot, so it's important to conceal that area. After I put in the concealer, blended it in a bit, then I set it with some translucent powder. The brand I use is by Kryolan. After I did that, I went on to do her brows. So using soft strokes, using a very light hand as much as is possible, just filling her brows softly. Have a spoolie on hand, either a disposable one like I'm using for her, or if it's for yourself, like a personal, like an old mascara spoolie that you've washed out. So you use that to brush the product through the brows as you're filling them in. That way you kind of like control how much product you're putting in on the brows, so you don't end up putting too much on her brows. So just shape the brows, try to make them similar. They don't have to be 100% identical, but as similar as you can get it, as your hands and eyes will allow you to get it. It's really important. Brush through, light hand, stretch the skin if possible so you have a good grip on the brows. Brush through, and yeah, just the brows. Next stop is concealer. Just put some under her brows or your brows. Concealer, whatever brand you use is your choice. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal Concealer. This shade is Fun. This is easy, it's affordable, it's blendable. Yeah, so it works. So I used a stiff flat brush to tidy up underneath brows. Then using the concealer, you should go for like a shade that's about maybe about 2 shades lighter than the person's skin tone, so that way the underbrow is already highlighted by the time you're done blending in the concealer and all of that. So blend it as much as you can so that there's no sharp white like area under her brows. I also applied the concealer all over her eyelid, just also to kind of like color correct. Some people have pigmentation on their eyelids and you don't want that to affect the work of when you're putting your eyeshadow on. So I just put concealer all over the eye, blend it in very well so that you have like a neutral canvas to work on. To neaten above her brows, I went in with the same concealer I use under her eyes. It's clearly like her skin tone or just a tad darker. I like to use this kind of shade, or you can use the person's exact foundation shade above the brows because it's more natural looking. I find it's a bit difficult when you use a light colored concealer above the brows. Blending it in take you a lot more time and you need to be really smart about it. After putting concealer underneath her brows and over her eyelids, I set it or primed it with transparent powder, my Kryolan transparent powder. This is very helpful because you remove any stickiness of the concealer and it helps you when you're applying your eyeshadow colors. It helps with blending. This is a very important step. You don't want to work on oily or sticky brows. So I just went in with my eyeshadow. Basically you can use any color of eyeshadows to create this kind of soft look. So I was going for like a brownie, peachy, extremely light, winey look. So I started by putting a very light matte wine shade, like in her crease area, or like my transition area. I put that in and then I blended it out completely. I intensified it a little more with the shade that was right next to it. It's in my Morphe palette. Then I went in with my eyeshadow primer. I like to use this one, is by BM Pro. So I just used my fingers and I blended it into the crease color so that there are no harsh lines. Then I applied this like bright peachy pinky color and I put it right smack in the center of her eyelid. If you notice, I didn't put it right in the inner corner or right on the outer corner. I just put it right smack in the center of her eyelid. Then I went in with a very soft brown, also from my Morphe palette. Then I put that color at the outer edges and the inner edges, and then I blended it up into the crease area as well. Working very softly, sweeping circular motions. You work with a light hand so that colors can actually blend in more seamlessly. Then with the same brown, I went ever so lightly over the peachy color just to dull how sharp it was. If you notice, you can still see the peach color peeking through the brown. Then I went over with my blending brush and then I just blended life out of the eyeshadow. Blending is very, very important in makeup. It's very important. So you blend away any harsh lines to keep the look very, very soft and muted. Very soft and muted. You don't want there to be any obvious demarcation anywhere in this eye look. Then using my Inglot gel liner in 77, I used a small angled brush and I lined her eyes, her upper eyelid, and I made a very, very thin line as close to her eyelashes as I could get. Like I said, I was going for a very, very soft look. Please stretch the skin to help you. It goes a long way, and work carefully when you're using eyeliners. So just do that both eyes. So done with eyes for now. Went in with foundation. Before this, I had put, I believe it's the Zaron Pore Filler, what's it called now, primer, just to smoothen her face a little more. And then I just apply the foundation in a buffing motion all over her face. Work in sections. It helps with your work, helps to ensure that you finish one area before you move on to the next. Apply some to the neck so that the face blends into the neck. That way you don't have any, like the person doesn't look like their face is different from their body. Then highlighting, went in with the Elegant concealer in Fawn. The shade is beautiful for this complexion of client or model because it's not too light for her, and it blends beautifully into the Mary Kay foundation that was applied on her earlier. So you go in under the eyes and notice with my beauty blender I'm patting the concealer into her skin. I'm not dragging it. I'm not going left or right. Sorry, my alarm went off. I'm not going left or right. I'm just patting until the product is until like it kind of like disappears into her skin, and you cannot tell where the highlighted part ended or where it started from. All of that, you just need to blend. Like I said earlier, blending is very, very key in makeup. In good makeup, blending is very, very important. Then to contour, Elegant foundation, Elegant concealer. Then, but this is the shade Toffee. Put it along the sides of her nose, the sides of her face, the areas I just wanted to bring some definition to, some contour to, and just applied that. Not too much. Use a light hand. Like I said, I was going for a very soft look. If you apply more product than I've done in terms of foundation, concealer, and all of that, then you're going for a heavier look. I wanted a very soft look. Unfortunately, the model had very good skin as well. So after applying, guess what? you have to blend and blend and blend and blend and blend all over again. Yes. So basically I just blended that in, patted it in, patted in, patted in, patted in. This beauty blender I'm using is by Elsas Pro. I think that's how to pronounce it. And you just blend. You want seamless. You don't want anybody to look at her face and say, oh yes, this is where the dark concealer went and this is where the light concealer went. No, you want something seamless. Then I'm setting the entire face with my Sacha Buttercup setting powder. Note that this color does not have enough coverage to cover the contour I've done, so it will just set her entire face. Then while I'm avoiding the areas I contoured, I used the Zaron mattifying face powder in the areas that I was not going to contour. Use a light hand, press into the skin, blend as well, so you have good coverage. Then I used, I believe it was a Mary Kay loose mineral foundation powder in, I think, bronze 3, and I just used that over the areas that I contoured on her face. Very lightly, it's a loose powder, so very lightly, very lightly, very lightly, just to deepen the contour. Then the Nubian eyeshadow, I went in because I wanted to work underneath her eyes. Using a small brush, I took a very soft brown shade and I put that underneath her lower lash line. Like I said, I was going for a very soft look. I did not at any point line her lower eye, her lower or her waterline. Yes, because I'm going for a very soft look. So the brown there, then I went in with a darker brown with a very flat square shaped brush. I got in right by her lashes and I applied the brown. When the pictures come up at the end of the video, you'll be able to see the effect that this had on the makeup look that I was going for. So we had a transition of dark brown and light brown on her lower eyelid. Next was that palette was by Juvia's Place. It's a blush palette. It has contour shades, it has highlight shades, and it has blush shades. So I first of all used the contour shade over the areas I contoured. Then the blush shade for blush, I started putting lashes. I normally do lashes while I'm doing other stuff because you have to wait for the glue to dry first. So instead of just standing idle, I apply blush or I do something else, or lips or whatever it is I need to do on the face while I'm applying the lashes. So blush lightly, soft hand, sweeping motion in a color suits the look that you're going for. Lashes applied, used highlighter from the same palette with a soft fan brush, a small soft fan brush, and in sweeping motions I just applied it to the high points of her face, the top of her cheeks. I put it on the bridge of her nose. I put it on her cupid's bow as well. Next, lip liner, Cappuccino by Zaron Cosmetics. I love this pencil. The brown is beautiful, glides on like a dream. Color payoff is fantastic. Go and get it if you don't have it. So basically I just used that to line most of her lip. Then I used the NARS Orgasm lipstick. It's like a nude lipstick but has like some gold, very fine gold flecks in it. It's a beautiful, very beautiful shade, but I believe you need to know how to use it if you want to wear it successfully. So I put that in the middle of her lip. Then I went in with a lip brush and then just blended the two colors together. Blending again, yes, remember, seamless transition. Unless you're going for a very high fashion look, you need seamless transitions. Then I went over it with the BM Pro Silver Sparkle Lip Gloss. It's like a clear gloss with like flecks of silver particles in it. It gives this very sparkly 3D-ish effect over the lipstick. Anyway, this was everything I did. I don't think I did anything else. So the look came together beautifully, as you can see. Change of clothes, some hair on from Hair Planet .ng, or is it Hair Planet NG, and this is it. Till next time, thank you for watching. Love and light. God bless you.